2008 TNA pay-per-view sacrifice between Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and Scott Steiner for Samoa Joe's World Heavyweight Championship. But Kurt Angle actually ended up getting injured before the pay-per-view, which got him. We're going to actually see what happens if Kurt Angle was in that match. Maybe Samoa Joe wouldn't have walked away with the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So we're just waiting for the final preparations. And, alright, here we go. And this kick the entrance of the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. Remember when Kurt Angle first debuted in TNA, he headbutted the shit out of Samoa Joe.
Introducing the challenger.
Yeah,
from Pittsburgh,
you ain't kidding.
Pennsylvania, weighing in at 237 pounds.
Remember, guys, the
Yeah,
title's
right.
on the line here in this
For Team Nash thing.
might just be the title change match. Well, Byron, this is it. This is the match we've been waiting
Oh,
for.
yeah.
He's worked so
Yep.
hard to get to this point, Michael, and for his
Yeah.
sake, I hope he's ready because I assure you, these opportunities don't come around very often.
And Kurt Angle awaiting his other two combatants. And the first one to come out will be Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. After Kurt Angle comes out. Yes, the genetic freak, Big Papa Pump, Freakzilla, Big Bad Booty Daddy. He had so many nicknames that you can't even remember half of them.
And introducing the challenger from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 290 pounds, Freakzilla Scott Steiner.
Here we go, gentlemen. Huge title match coming up.
And a huge
I think after this, what I might do is log out of Mixer on the Xbox, like log out of my account, and then log back in and see if that fixes anything.
There's no way the champ is walking out here without.
Because maybe the connection isn't there. He is now waiting in the ring. And here comes the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Samoa Joe.
From Huntington Beach, California, weighing in at 282 pounds, he is the total non-stop action world heavyweight champion, Samoa Joe.
Of course, the title is on the line in this one, guys.
And don't be surprised if history is made here tonight. I know the champ has looked good as of late, but I'd say the opposition has looked just as good, if not better.
And it seems to me like the champ is eager for the opening bell to sound.
Yeah, he's clearly
And Samoa Joe wearing that title around his waist. We don't know if he's going to leave Sacrifice with it. Referee Teddy Long Jr. holding up the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Here we go. And oh, Scott Steiner takes down Kurt Angle. And Joe with a belly-to-belly suplex on Scott Steiner.
One-on-one for the championship.
And now Joe is just beating up Scott Steiner. While Kurt Angle watches. German by Kurt. German for Cody. Now Angle's working on the neck of Samoa Joe.
What is in Steiner's mind right now? What, in your opinion, can the WWE Universe expect from him here?
He's come a long way and stands on fate's doorstep, hoping he can kick it down. We'll see if he can get it done.
Yeah, you know what they say, if you want to be...
Wait a minute, Kurt Angle with the inverted DDT to Scott Steiner. And look at this. Oh, jeez. And Angle belly to belly to Joe. Oh, but Steiner just starts kicking Kurt in the gut, and a German from Steiner to Kurt. All three of these men will suplex the shit out of you if given the opportunity. And spin level. Nelson suplex by Samoa Joe, or I think they call that the Dragon suplex, I'm not sure. And, oh, and a double suplex by Kurt and Samoa Joe to Scott Steiner. Joe and Kurt to go at it one-on-one in the ring. And, ooh, and Kurt with an uppercut, a kick, and a DDT on the Joe. He can win the match now. Compliments of Woo. And oh, and Scott Steiner takes a blockbuster by Kurt.
Triple threat matches have a way of getting out of hand very quickly. I know it's early, but he has to do everything in his power not to let this get out of hand.
And wait a minute, Scott Steiner, oh, goes for a powerbomb on Kurt, but Kurt punches him in the face while he's up there. But then Scott Steiner Irish whips Kurt into the corner, and Samoa Joe interrupts it, and then, oh, Samoa Joe went for a German on Scott Steiner, but got an elbow to the face for his troubles. And then took a belly-to-belly from Scott Steiner, like only Scott Steiner can. And oh wait, Steiner kisses his muscle and drops the elbow.
The champ clearly getting the best of him here.
Given what he's gone through in his match so far, I wouldn't be
Oh my.
surprised to see one of these guys.
Oh, Scott Steiner with the colossal clutch right now.
And he escapes this submission.
Oh, but Kurt getting out of it. And Kurt Irish whipping Joe into the corner. And Scott Steiner Irish whip into a belly-to-belly. And then picks up Joe, military press. But Joe punches him in the face. Oh, God. The Chimera suplexes by Joe. Oh, God. Oh. One more. Straight jacket. German. And he pins Scott Steiner 1. 2, but Steiner kicks out. Joe picks him up, but Scott Steiner does like a Sambo toss over top of him in the reversal there. And Scott Steiner throws him to the corner. I know he's going to pick him up to the top rope. Could it be the Frankensteiner? Oh, no, but he gets reversed. And Kurt, the triple Germans, onto Scott Steiner. Jeez, Steiner's just getting suplexed back and forth. He's like, oh, it's Scott Steiner. And now a snap suplex on the Joe by Kurt into the pin. 1. Got the kick out at 1. And now he's punching Joe in the face. Oh, jeez. Multiple punches. And I wonder if Kurt latches. Oh, the kitchen sink. If he latches in that ankle lock on somebody, it might be over. Then again, he hasn't really worked on the legs of any of these two people. But oh, God. By Kurt Angle. And wait a minute. Angle. German on the Samoa Joe. And Angle's got Scott Steiner up for a power bomb. Jesus. He just like jackknife power bombed the shiznit out of him. What a matchup.
Yeah, you're not going to win many matches when you're down.
This is what happens when Kurt Angle isn't in the match. Oh, and Scott Steiner just Steiner-lined Kurt Angle in the corner. Angle slam on Scott Steiner! And he goes for the pin, but Joe's there to break it up.
He doesn't appear to be in a hurry to get up here.
And Kurt Angle Irish rips Joe into the corner, and a punch to the multiple punches to the face while in the corner. And and Kurt Angle's choking him. Kurt Angle's straight up choking him. Why is Teddy Long Jr. not getting involved, stopping this choking? And another belly-to-belly to Scott Steiner by Kurt. Kurt is just straight up dominating his match. 1, 2, and the kick out. Steiner absorbing the kick to the back and his forearms. Knocks him over. 1, 2, but no. And wait, Joe goes and pins Kurt afterwards. And Scott Steiner there for the save. Oh, and a jab. You know how Samoa Joe likes to jab people. Oh, God. Kurt Angle belly to belly on Samoa Joe.
Any moment now. I think it's safe to say that this might be the beginning of the end for the champ.
Oh, no. And Scott Steiner with the Irish whip. Put Kurt up on the top rope. Could it be the Frankensteiner? He's going up. Frankensteiner. Oh, on the Kurt Angle. But Joe is going for the Muscle Buster on Scott Steiner. Muscle Buster. He connected. And Kurt Angle is starting to get up though, and he makes the pin on Scott Steiner. And Joe starts taunting. 2. Oh, but Joe is able to make the save. Jeez.
This might be the end of the road.
Yeah, right? And Joe, Osaka Street Cutter on Kurt Angle. Leaving Joe and Steiner in the ring alone. And Joe's gonna pin him. After a stomp to the back. 2, no. Scott Steiner kicking out. Oh, God. The Chimera suplexes on the Scott Steiner again. Scott Steiner is taking a beating. And Kurt Angle is still on the outside of the ring. Straight jacket. German. And Samoa Joe goes down to one knee. He's a little fatigued. But here comes Kurt. And Kurt goes for the chop block. But Joe steps out of the way. And Kurt. Oh no, Kurt's dropping the straps. But he's got to turn around. Oh no, wait, Scott Steiner's going for Samoa Joe. Oh, wait a minute. Scott Steiner hits Kurt. But Kurt reverses the Steiner screwdriver. And then Kurt hits the Angle Slayer on Scott Steiner. And now he turns his attention to Joe. Oh no, I think Joe's going for the Muscle Buster on Kurt. Yes, he is. He's going for the Muscle Buster on Kurt. But Steiner's stirring. Oh! And wait, Joe, Irish whip Steiner into the corner, knocking down the referee. Oh! A Dragon Sleeper by Joe on the Kurt, but there's no referee. And wait, the referee's up now. And he's checking on Kurt, seeing if he's going to tap out to the Dragon Sleeper. But Kurt with knees to the face of Joe. And, Samoa Joe with a headbutt. Jesus. Knocking Kurt Angle right off his feet. And wait, Steiner getting back in the ring, making the save on the pin after the headbutt. And now Steiner goes for the pin, and Joe makes the save. And Joe is taunting, and Steiner lifts him up in a fireman's carry. And Snake eyes him into the corner from the fireman's carry position. Jesus. This match has gone on for 15 minutes. Oh, but Kurt Angle slam on Scott Steiner as Joe rolls out the ring. And a rope break. Angle didn't check his ring position. Jesus. And oh no, Kurt is doing kind of a modified alligator roll into like a body lock.
What was he thinking?
That's the only thing I can think of to describe that move. And DDT on Scott Steiner by Kurt Angle. And wait, Kurt with a German on Samoa Joe. And now the colossal clutch on Joe. With his knee digging into the back of Joe. But Joe gets out of it. And Kurt over the head, belly to belly onto Samoa Joe.
He's taking a long time to get up.
And Scott Steiner lifts him up for a power slam, but is reversed into an inverted DDT by Kurt. Jeez. And Kurt goes for the pin on Joe. 1, 2, and the kick out by Joe.
The first thing he needs to do is get back to his feet, which is clearly easier said than done.
And, oh, and a punch to the face of Samoa Joe. Oh no, Kurt's setting up for something. Might be the Angle slam. Angle slam on Joe! And this time there won't be a rope break. But Steiner rolls into the ring, but Joe kicks out on his own. And a capture suplex by Kurt to Scott Steiner. Jesus. And Kurt is trying to dispose of Scott Steiner by throwing him onto the apron and shoulder blocking him off. But he might be costing himself some valuable time by he went out towards Scott Steiner and then slid back in. Oof. And wait a minute. Kurt Angle suplexes Joe. And they're both down. He might have hurt his neck.
Yeah, he's on Dream Street.
And Scott Steiner is back in the ring now. And, oh God, what is Steiner going to do to Kurt? Oh, runs him into the corner with his back in a power slam position. Oh, hey, get away from that. No, Samoa Joe has Steiner in the corner. Oh, but Joe gets reversed. Scott Steiner's got Joe in a fireman's carry position again. And he drapes him across the ropes. And Kurt Irish whips Scott Steiner into the corner. Oh no, he's going to take him up to the top. Could he be going for an avalanche? Angle slam. No, avalanche, belly to belly. Jeez. And now the colossal clutch. And I don't know if Kurt Angle is looking to finish Scott Steiner or not. Oh, and Joe drop kick the referee in the face to make sure that Steiner didn't tap out. But that kind of cost him because he got caught in the triple Germans by Kurt. Oh! And wait, Joe. Oh, with a shoulder block. And oh, and then he just takes down Scott Steiner. Jeez, and they pinned Scott because Kurt rolled out of the ring. 1, 2, 3, and Samoa Joe came out as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion anyway, but it was a hell of a match. Jeez, and Kurt did a lot of suplexes. I think he made Brock Lesnar look bad. Oof, and Scott Steiner. And then one of the muscle busters. And he leg dropped Kurt Angle. Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of What If. And, like and subscribe us on YouTube and the W2 Network if you enjoyed what you watched. Thank you and have a good day.